So today on Google Classroom, you're going to be looking at some nonfiction book reviews because that's our next piece of writing that we're going to work on. But before you look at those, I want to read to you one more picture book about empathy that's nonfiction so that you can look at some reviews about this book and understand what the reviewer is doing and some of the things that you're going to include in your review on the nonfiction picture book that you read for the empathy unit. So here is the book. It's called Mogie, The Heart of the House by Kathy Appelt. And this is based on a true story. Well, it is a true story. Mogie, the heart of the house. Right smack in the heart of the big city is a very special house. It was high to the sky ceilings and large, cushy sofas. It has a well-stocked library and a big, big kitchen. It has an indoor tree house and an enormous fireplace. The families who stay at the special house come from all over the world. They bring their children with them, including Gage. Gage was once a ball-throwing, race-running, back-flipping boy. Give Gage a tune and he'd make up silly rhymes for it. Give Gage a windy day and he'd fly a kite. Give Gage a beach and he'd build a sandcastle that scraped the sky. That Gage, everyone said, he's got mojo. Who wouldn't love a boy like that? But one day, Gage got sick. He was too sick for ball throwing, race running, and backflipping. Too sick for rhymes and kites and sandcastles. And that is why his family came to the very special house in the heart of the big city. Like any other house, the house in the big city has house rules. Healthy eating, afternoon napping, peace and quieting, no puppies. Meanwhile, not too far away, there was a cozy house. It had a tiny bedroom with a box full of chew toys. It had a nice warm kitchen. And guess what else it had? Puppies, a passel of puppies. 2 puppies set out to be service dogs. 3 puppies signed up for search and rescue. 4 puppies were groomed for the show ring. And then there was Mogie. Mogie was a ball-chasing, tail-wagging, moon-howling pup. Mogie tried to be a service dog. He tried search and rescue. He even tried the show ring. Each time he got the same report card. No way, no how, no thanks. But Mogie's heart was as true as could be. Give that dog a puddle and he'd splash. Give him a whistle and he'd roll over. Give him a rule and he'd break it. Which is exactly what he did. When he walked through the doors of the very special house, he did not notice the high-to-sky ceilings and large, cushy sofas. He could care less about the well-stocked library and the big, big kitchen. He barely sniffed the indoor treehouse and the enormous fireplace. He completely ignored the rules. Instead, Mogie made a beeline for Gage. Arf! He barked. Mogie trotted to Gage's side and wagged his tail, but Gage only stared out at the sky. Mogie rolled onto his back and kicked his legs in the air. Gage stared some more. Mogie barked in 3 different keys. That Gage, everyone said. He's lost his mojo. Who wouldn't worry about a boy like that? Not Mogie. He knew just what to do. He licked Gage's fingers. He leaned on Gage's legs. He sat beside Gage and stared out at the big blue sky. And one day, when no one else was looking, Mogie chased a ball. He ran a race. He did a backflip. Just for Gage. And Gage, he remembered. He remembered throwing balls and running races and flipping backward. He remembered silly tunes and windy days. One night, he dreamed about sandcastles that scraped the sky. And slowly, slowly, oh so slowly, Gage began to get better. The day came when Gage was ready to leave the special house in the heart of the big city. But first he hugged Mogie and said, "I'll never forget you." Mogie leaned against him and licked Gage's fingers. He barked in 3 different keys. Then he watched as Gage waved goodbye and walked out the door. Give that boy a tree and he'll climb it. Give him a pond and he'll feed the ducks. Give him a chance and he'll take it. That Gage, everyone said, he found his mojo. As for Mogie, he's still there in the special house. He misses Gage, and once in a while he stares out at the sky and thinks about him. But now he has Antonia. Antonia was once a toe-dancing, jump-roping, cartwheel-spinning girl. That Antonia, everyone said, she's lost her cha-cha-cha. Mogie's work is cut out for him. Give this dog a bone and he'll chew it. Give him a stick and he'll fetch it. Give him a kiddo who is bluer than blue, and Mogie will be truer than true. That Mogie, everyone says, he's the heart of the house. Who wouldn't love a dog like that? I'm going to read to you the author's note really quickly. The day I got a call about meeting a dog named Mogie, my reaction was, me? I'm a cat person. So when I first went to Houston to visit that Ronald McDonald house and to meet Mogie, I was skeptical. After all, he was just a dog, right? Wrong. Even though my cats might disagree, there is surely no other dog like Mogie. The moment we met, he trotted right up to me, leaned against my legs, then looked up and smiled. I couldn't help it. I fell in love. But the reasons for loving him are bigger than just his ability to lean on you and smile. As it turns out, Mogie knows when a kiddo needs him. He knows when to sit quietly beside the girl who is suffering from an asthma attack or the boy who has just lost his sister. He knows when a child needs to play fetch or when a staff member needs a quick lick on the cheek. He has an innate knowing about being both a goofball and a warm companion. Mostly he is a best pal to whomever needs a best pal at that moment. I learned all of this after spending the next several months interviewing the parents and kids who lived at the Ronald McDonald house, as well as the staff and the members of the board of directors. I wasn't the only person who loved Mogie. I feel enormously lucky to know Mogie and all of the people who share my love for him. They've got some serious mojo. I also stand in awe of the mission and work that takes place at the Ronald McDonald houses and their ongoing efforts to create a home for their young clients and families. Bless you for making the world a better place. I especially feel lucky that Mogie trusted me to tell his story. I hope you enjoy reading it as much as I enjoyed writing it. So I hope you liked that book. I love that book. So, and I also included a little video about Mogie, the real Mogie. And so now you're going to go ahead and read some of the nonfiction reviews that I have attached to Google Classroom. And in the private comment, you're going to tell me some characteristics that you noticed about what reviews share in common. What are some things they all include? What are some of the things that you see that a review should have? And just give me maybe 3 or 4 characteristics in the private comment so we can talk about them tomorrow and we can talk about writing your own reviews. Okay, see you tomorrow, and don't forget to do that Google presentations because we're going to look at those tomorrow too. Okay, good night.